to use it to buy a car for the 508. And it was after, doing it for the first time, it's like so many growing pains and shit, bro. It's like, I'm glad to do it. That first-hand experience will never leave my brain. So I will now be able to do it correctly and get the proper exempt plate. It was all of it, right? How you dealt with whenever you've been through so many rejections, right? So yeah, I know you understand that portion of when things get rejected. So I bought it from a dealership, a local dealership, a very small dealership. And I asked them initially, like, hey, have you guys ever sold a car to a church? And they said, we've sold to nonprofits before. Like, so you're familiar how to do tax exempt transactions and everything, which on the side note is probably the easiest e-number to get on the planet, because all they need for you to do is fill out the application and send in the Constitution. You don't have to send in anything else, and they'll send it to you in 5 days. So I went there, got the car, but whenever it got to the registration portion, they were unfamiliar with how to get an exempt plate, and she'd never done it before. So I was like, okay, well, we have all this applications, and we need to record a lien on it too. And she was saying, okay, well, you need to tell me the finance entity, whatever bank it is, and I can look it up and do it here in the dealership. And I said, it's not a finance entity, it's a trust. And she said, well, I can't do that here. I'm like, well, I'd like to record this lien when we do this. This was all on the premise that these were the instructions that was given to me by the church. So it made it a little bit less stressful as far as like why I was being so particular and everything. So it really helped with like, I learned a lot about like how to properly do business and only give people information they want to hear, or in a manner that would make it easy for them to accept. That was a big one for sure. So she recommended that we do a title only transfer and that I take the vehicle and go register it the way that was instructed to me by the church, right? Come to find out, after they did it all, they gave me the certificate of title and all the documents and then told me, you got to go to the DMV and do this all. And I started calling up. I'm lucky. I don't know what it was. There was quite a bit of divine alignment, if you will, that like saved my ass, if you will, because I called the DMV to ask about certain things because I had scheduled an appointment to be able to get the registration and everything. And I started giving some of the details, and this one was like, wait. This dealership just gave you the certificate of title to do that? They can't do that. The law is that they have to register from there. You can't do that. That's illegal. So I was about to show up to the DMV and try to register this vehicle that the dealership should have done. And they probably were going to get in trouble, and it might have put me under scrutiny, unnecessary scrutiny. So I had to go back. By the way, the dealership wasn't, and I live in, so these were 1.5 to 2 hour drives. So I had to go back, and I had to kind of provide everything. And I even messed up because I put the minister's signature that wasn't me, because they recognize unincorporated associations. When a business comes through and wants to register a vehicle, they just need to be able to find them. But there's another portion in their manual that says, if you can't find proof of that, all you need is an official letterhead from that entity authorizing the applicant there, that's signed by a different person other than the applicant. That's all they ask for. I was like, are you serious? I don't need to notarize or anything? They're like, no. So we had that official letterhead, but I made a mistake and put that minister's signature on the back of the certificate of title on the reassignment portion. So I had signed in the capacity of the minister, and he provided the official letterhead. And that made me really stressed because I was like, I messed up the certificate of title, and I don't know if they'll be able to accept this now. But apparently affidavit of corrections are a thing. So I had learned about that. And I started to learn more and more about the mutability of paperwork, right? Through all these contracts, which is another thing I learned. So we had submitted that. But meanwhile, just to let you know, this happened over the course of about a week. So I had to drive there 2 or 3 more times to make sure I physically signed things correctly. And the last time around, we were able to provide the right information, provide the right certificate of title application. And when it came to the lien holder information stuff, they were confused, right? Because I provided them with the non-UCC and the attached documents to it and everything. But we eventually got past that. And they were able to take that, and they had to physically submit it to their private tag agency that they go through, because normally they're used to doing it electronically. So I apologized profusely to them. I'm like, look, because the way I had learned all that was either by calling the DMV or scrubbing through all the forms and manuals on the Division of Motorists website here. They actually provide a really, really extensive and comprehensive list of exactly what they need to do in the DMV. That gives them instructions. That's what I read. I misunderstood some things, but I was doing my best to be as diligent as possible. So I told them, hey, I'm sorry, this is what we were instructed to do in some cases, not only just by my church, but our calls with the DMV and these manuals. So we messed up a few of them. Sorry about that. And she was very, they were understanding and everything, but it became much longer process just because I messed up some things, but also because their initial instructions of me taking it to the dealer kind of really derailed everything because they didn't know any better. And had I not known that, I probably would have been able to, do it a lot quicker. But that was kind of the whole process. And I actually ended up getting the X Series plate last night. And that was a whole thing in and of itself too, because long story short, a buddy of mine, I called him because I was getting off of work at 4 and it was a 2-hour drive. Actually, I was leaving at 4:30 and I had called them to see if the X Series plate had come in and they said it did. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna come over and get it. And they said, we close at 6. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna be at 6:30. So I called my friend Al and I was like, hey, can you go and pick this up? And I was like, oh, okay. I called Al back. I was like, look, I don't know anybody else. Do you happen to know anybody that might be able to pick it up? That's all they need to do. Just pick up the tag so I can pick it up from them because I'll just be there 30 minutes after they close. And he ended up calling a few people and he calls me back and he's like, hey, my friend Sharon is 3 minutes away. She's picking it up right now. I was like, what? And so I had arranged everything and she eventually picked it up and I picked it up later that night. But I told her, along with a few of my friends, because I don't believe in coincidences, I was like, look, man, this is part of my religious beliefs and stuff, but like you being 5 minutes away from that dealership when he had called you, it was not a coincidence to me for all this when it happened. That's what happened.
Well, it turned out great. Turned out great with a lot of sweat. Now, as far as the dealership go, when you went back, what did they say? What did you have to tell them?
Yeah, I never went to the DMV. I never had to go to the DMV.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, the dealerships handle that through either a private tag agency or directly through the DMV if they have a contract or not, because they have their own systems that they deal with. Yeah, so I did not have to go to the DMV at all. I wasn't supposed to. The dealership is designed to handle. I'm pretty sure it's to prevent fraud or whatever, and so they can control the whole transfer process. Which also taught me that private sales are way better. So, but I tried to do my best to do the vehicle in trust video, but I knew that I had to adapt it because I was not doing a private sale. But luckily, I was able to, read and apply the competency I've developed so far to really do it. I did it. So, yeah, man, it was. Thank you. Thank you, man. It feels really good.
The day most look forward to is the day they sit down and think, yes, I finally did it, while basking in the moment and perpetually enjoying what they have accomplished. No matter what that thing may be, one of those is peace of mind, or said in other ways, freedom from worries of someone else's control. Most of our prime years, our mind, power, and resource have been spent in institutions, occupations, places, and with people, whether at work, education, or leisure. By the time we realize it, aging has reflected on us. Even though most of us prefer privacy and a peace of mind, but that requires privileged information that are usually exchanged privately. So I like to tell people that chronological age is not equivalent to awareness of how certain things work. With that said, put aside all negative reinforcement you've been told as to what you cannot do, because this is an age of technology where we have inherited the ability to begin to exchange information regardless of distance. And these type of exchange of valuable substantive information used to only take place in certain circles and family. What I've done is I've created a one-on-one privatization course to take these privileged information most people who know would not tell you, but this time place it in your hands So you realize the true power you have. Someone woke up today with something that you need, and they're willing to give it. The only thing between you and that thing that you want or that thing that you need is just a conversation. What is left in terms of execution of transfer of that value is for someone to show you and explain the intricacies, the clarity, the details to you. That's one of the attributes we humans have that makes us quite unique. Conversations, explanation and depictions from experience. Humans have a life hack whereby one human have gone through it and have experienced it. Everyone else within that humanity have a cheat sheet by virtue of that one particular man or woman whereby they can go straight to that and the information is revealed to them. Take advantage of it. If you know this is something you need, then join the waiting list for the one-on-one privatization course. And the most important of all, pass the baton effectively to your future generations so they don't inherit fear, uncertainty, and ignorance. Like to preserve the focus of each man and woman by dedicating focused energy each time, so it's only going to be 5 people per quarter being taken into the course. Once the 5 wave of people are done, the next 5 come in. In the case that the prior 5 people want to continue the course, they get priority to renew it. If you'd like to join, apply for the waiting list. The link is in the description of this video and on the website subtlesubstanceservices.com under the one-on-one course waiting list.